Hello again, everybody. This is John with Best Price Nutrition. I apologize for the sun coming in. It's so if you see me squinting or anything like that, I apologize. We have Christy from New Chapter with us today. Today we're going to talk about New Chapter Wholemega. Now, if you guys have seen any of our videos before, we always kind of harp on, when we do videos discussing important supplements, essential fatty acids always rank high on the list for us for the numerous reasons that we'll go through in the video. Now, specifically New Chapter Wholemega. Now, you have two varieties of Wholemega available. Do you want to touch on those real quick, the difference between the regular Wholemega and the prenatal Wholemega?
Sure. Do you want to start with the regular Wholemega?
Yeah, what is the difference in terms of, what would be the difference in terms of the tablet size? Is there anything like that?
Sure. So we've talked about Wholemega before, and we do offer Wholemega Prenatal, which is a smaller capsule. It's still 100% wild Alaskan salmon oil, which we've talked about being your naturally cleanest source of fish oil, as well as sustainable, but it's an easy swallow capsules. We know that it can be difficult to digest and swallow larger capsules when you're pregnant, so they're easy swallow capsules. But there are some specific reasons that you want to take omega-3 fatty acids during pregnancy, and maybe we can go into those.
Yeah, let's go into some of the health benefits that would be for everybody, and then we can get some statistics that you had, because I know you had some good research on, some of the benefits for mothers who are pregnant. Now, specifically with omega-3s, now we talk a lot about cognitive health, eye, skin, hair, nails, all of those things. Now, the difference between Wholemega and your typical grocery store omega-3 is that most omega-3s are molecularly distilled, which is like a fancy way of saying chemically processed.
Correct.
And fish oils specifically are very, very sensitive to heat and light. Now, we were discussing about why Wholemega is only available in a capsule, not a liquid. If you can touch on that real quick.
Sure, yeah. What you said is very true. And if you do a liquid, every time you open that bottle, you're exposing the oil to oxygen, which can make the oil turn rancid. Okay. And so one of the reasons that you're taking fish oil is to reduce inflammation in the body. So it doesn't do a lot of good to be taking an oil that's actually going to contribute to inflammation in the body. So this is the reason we do the easy swallow capsules rather than a liquid, so that you're ensured to get the purest fish oil available and reduce any chance of getting oxidation.
Gotcha. And New Chapter is the 100% wild-caught Alaskan salmon. It's basically
Correct.
bottled at the source.
Absolutely. It's the cleanest fish oil on the market. On top of that, we use a botanical preservation system instead of vitamin E, which is typically what fish oil does to preserve the oil. This is really important because it actually stabilizes the oil 4 times longer than vitamin E. So again, you're preventing any rancidity from creeping into the oil.
And as discussed, fish oils are very, more so than your vegan oils out there, your flaxes and stuff, are much more sensitive to heat and light and any exposure like that. And now you'll hear a lot of hyperbole sometimes. As you guys know, if you watch our videos, we're always sensitive to this with marketing and stuff like that. But with essential fatty acids, it really, really does make a difference how they're processed. Like we hear buzzwords like EPA and DHA, and companies hear that, and then what they're doing is they're just concentrating and chemically treating the oils to give you a bunch of that and say, here you go. But in the process, they're actually ruining the fats themselves, which have all the health benefits that we've discussed. Now, let's go into specifically for pregnant women. You had some really interesting statistics that would benefit the fetus.
Sure, and just to touch on really quick with Wholemega, what you were talking about, particularly targeting brain health and cardiovascular health and joint health, that's very true. And I think just one thing to keep in mind, this would be true for the Wholemega Prenatal as well, that makes Wholemega different is you have all 16 essential fatty acids. So you're not isolating those omega-3s. So you are getting them, and because you're getting the omega-3s, your targeted DHA and EPA specifically, within their whole food complex, you're going to absorb them very well. But it's important to know that you're getting all the additional nutrition from the essential fatty acids as well, not just your omega-3s. All of them have benefits to the body. But also keeping in mind, it's what New Chapter does with the whole food story. By delivering your targeted nutrition within its whole food complex, you're going to absorb it that much better, so it becomes that much more potent and beneficial to the body at the end of the day.
So those omega fatty acids are in the salmon for a reason.
Absolutely.
They're not just there just because. They're actually benefits.
And I love what you touched on with the molecular distillation. You're correct. That does mean the oil's been processed, usually exposed to high temperatures, which we know makes oil rancid. We don't cook at high temperatures with olive oil.
Sure.
Or it's been chemically processed for purification. So, on top of that, doing the Wholemega, you're not breaking the oil apart. Essentially, if you're just delivering an omega-3, you've broken that fatty acid off its backbone. It doesn't really act in the body the same way as it would if you eat the whole food form. So, to specifically address why during pregnancy would you want to take a fish oil, there are some really compelling reasons to do that. And then obviously keeping in mind that this is a time that you're particularly concerned about purity. So it's really good to know that the Wholemega is the wild Alaskan salmon oil. This is true on the prenatal as well. That's your naturally cleanest source of seafood. It is still third-party tested for purity, so you have that quality assurance there. But some interesting statistics about taking omega-3s during pregnancy is that these key dietary fatty acids actually make up 70% of the newborn baby's brain, eye, and nervous system.
Wow.
So it's really essential to be supplementing with those during that time of development. And studies show that 85% of women are actually deficient in these key fatty acids.
Because of the diet being lacking in cold water fish and...
Absolutely correct.
And even tuna, actually, a lot of people know this, it's going to vary between the season that people actually catch it. And I know oftentimes pregnant women are told to avoid tuna because of, concerns about mercury. So
correct. So it's becoming more difficult to actually get your essential fatty acid needs. And, knowing that your newborn baby needs, is 70% made up of the essential fatty acids, you really need to be supplementing so that you're sure to get proper nutrition as well as a developing baby. And the studies also show that, only 2% of pregnant women are actually meeting these dietary needs. So there's a real, call out for a quality essential fatty acid omega-3 supplement here.
And there's a gap there. And real quick, essential fatty acids, again, we've discussed this in other videos if you've seen them. They're essential because our bodies don't produce them. You have to get them from an exogenous source, a source outside of the body, either through your diet or through supplement. As we touched on, sometimes through the diet, it's just very difficult for people to say, eat salmon every day or, have a diet that's rich in a good source of omega fatty acids. So hence the supplement does a really good job of it because let's just face it, most people aren't going to be able to do that. So we're going to fill in those gaps. Hence supplements are to supplement those gaps in your diet. Now, are there any negative side effects? We always get these questions, and I personally don't like the term side effects. I think if it's an effect, it's an effect. Whether it's unintended or not, it's an effect. Would there be any negative side effects? Because that's always a question and a concern, especially with pregnant.
Sure. And I think one of the beautiful things about doing whole food nutrition, this is whole food. It's what your body knows and understands how to process. So what we like to say at New Chapter is our products actually have side benefits. And it's a really great thing about turning to whole food nutrition. And to talk about Wholemega in that case, that means you're getting additional nutrition, 15 more essential and beneficial fatty acids, vitamin D, we also know that's really important for fetal development, plus that great astaxanthin, which is a great antioxidant. So, when you take Wholemega, it's for a week, it's as if you had 3 servings of wild Alaskan salmon. So, I think another compelling reason to turn to whole food nutrition is you get these great side benefits. You don't have to worry about these side effects.
And these would be things that, like you discussed, that you'd find in a whole food. It would be like eating an orange for your vitamin C as opposed to taking an isolated vitamin when it's a whole food source. You're getting all these other benefits, some known and some unknown. And the same would be true with this.
Yep, that's a great way to describe it.
Okay. Well, I think we covered all the details of Wholemega. And as discussed, a lot of what we focused on here today was with pregnancy, but all of these benefits could also be extrapolated out to everyday individuals. So as we said, these are essential fats for everybody. This is not just a pregnancy-based thing. So, and as you said, the prenatal is much easier to swallow.
Yes.
Because as you know, sometimes, obviously I've been pregnant, but during the first trimester, I think, that's really important when women kind of
First
tend to
and
feel
third
sick.
can be tough, so easy swallow capsules to make it easier on digestion, so you can actually get the benefits of those essential fatty acids. And then maybe just to touch real quick on Wholemega's larger picture, I know you just discussed some of the benefits. It's really important to know one of the other great things about Wholemega is it has great clinical backing behind the product. We're not only talking about a naturally pure whole food fish oil, but the clinical studies are done on the end product, so it really tells you how it's going to act in the body. And those studies show that it lowers bad cholesterol while supporting your good cholesterol. Also a really beneficial piece, and we know that's really imperative. It's not enough just to lower your LDL and triglycerides. You have to have healthy levels of HDL, and people are starting to understand that. That's what pulls bad cholesterol out of the body. Also clinically shown to reduce total body inflammation and help restore that proper balance of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids.
And where can this research be found? Do you have it on your website, posted on newchapter.com?
You can definitely find information on newchapter.com.
Okay. Well, if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to post them in the video comment section or in the blog. Thank you.